Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
A dusting of overnight snow led to a hazardous commute for many today. Police reported dozens of crashes throughout the valley, a yearly reminder that our driving habits must adjust to the seasons. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard gives us an overview of the morning and offers up some safety tips as we head into a first alert weather weekend.
Whether you're a rookie on the road, a seasoned driver, or somewhere in between, you can't predict slippery roads. With temps in the 30s early Friday morning, the snow that hit the road then melted. But once we reached the 6 and 7 o'clock hours, temperatures dropped into the 20s.
The snow that had melted on the road surfaces froze right over, so people were slipping and sliding into the ditches.
This is a photo of an ambulance that lost control in Tipton, West Fargo. Cass County deputies were called to at least 5 crashes and assisted on 3 more. Wind conditions deteriorated. East of the Red River, Minnesota troopers responded to 7 crashes, mostly in Clay County. At one point, there were 4 crashes at once along I-94 and Highway 10. Authorities remind you to be careful on bridge decks and overpasses, especially with more snow expected.
Kind of looking ahead tonight too, I know a lot of people probably weren't expecting seeing just a little bit of snow. As more comes in, I guess what should people know as they head out tonight? Or
drive safe. Make sure you have a winter kit in your car just in case you do end up in the ditch and you're not able to get help right away.
In the FM area, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
As a driver, you should also turn off your cruise control when conditions may be slippery. For the latest on road conditions, download our Storm Team weather app. Well, the next round of snow is expected to begin at some point this evening, and in many places it'll be more than just a dusting. Here's Hutch with a closer look at when and where.
Thanks so much, Stacy. But before we get to the ugly in my discussion, let's talk about the cute. And this ranks pretty high on Hutch's cuteness meter here. Look at this little snowman made and sent in by Nicole in Dilworth from this morning's round of flaky follies. Here they are as they impacted our morning commute from our time-lapse tower cam. Now let's talk about Lakes Country, seeing a little bit of snow as well. Jeff, thanks for uploading your photo here. Now, as we head into the evening hours, we're monitoring a storm system moving out of Montana right now. And as we go through the overnight, after midnight, it will be moving into our western counties. And by daybreak, the snow will be the heaviest in our viewing area. Right there first thing in the morning. So that morning commute will get increasingly worse into mid-morning, and by the afternoon the wind starts picking up from the north. So there could be a little bit of blowing snow out there, but luckily the snowfall and the wind are not timed exactly together. Then it moves out of here as we get into the mid to late afternoon, leaving us with a cold rest of the day. How much snow? We've adjusted this very little. I-94 and north, anywhere from a trace to 4 inches of snow. It looks like the bullseye, Stacy, is going to be that Highway 200 corridor, north into the Highway 2 corridor, where we'll see some of you with 4 to 6 inches, isolated places picking up, maybe even a pinch more than that. I'll have hour-by-hour details on this and the rest of your weekend outlook here in just a few minutes. Get ready for some winter-like driving tomorrow through particularly I-94 and points north.
And how cute was that little snowman?
That was a 10 on the cuteness meter.
It was. My daughter probably tried that. She was just eating the snow. I'm like, okay, well, you're done. Come on in.
Kind of yummy.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
Well, a man charged in North Fargo murder is now set to go to trial next year. Lee Fry Jr. was allegedly inside a car when shots were fired near the Northport Hornbachers on May 12th. That's when Antoine White was killed. Police say Fry was sitting next to White along with another man selling him meth. Fry is charged with murder, conspiracy to commit robbery, and unlawful possession of a firearm. He'll go to trial in April. A 32-year-old woman is pleading not guilty to murdering a 15-year-old. Samantha Wilson is charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of contact by bodily fluids. Both are felonies. Court documents say Wilson shot Jonah Borth with a pistol. Before arriving at a jail in Grand Forks, Wilson became uncooperative, banging her head into the windows of the patrol car. Documents say she also spit blood on an officer. She'll be back in court in December. A Fargo man is now charged after court documents say he attempted to run over a North Dakota Highway Patrol trooper Wednesday night. 26-year-old Andrew Booth has now been charged with attempted aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and fleeing an officer. Troopers tried to stop Booth for traveling 95 miles per hour in a 55-mile zone on I-94, leading authorities on a brief chase before that being called off due to high speeds. As troopers were investigating at Booth's South Fargo home, they say he tried to pull into his driveway and tried to hit one of the troopers troopers. The trooper has since been released from the hospital. A North Dakota Air National Guardsman is accused of sexually assaulting a co-worker he was supervising. Eric Clemenson is charged with one felony count of sexual imposition by force. According to court documents, the 19-year-old victim went out with a group of co-workers, including Clemenson, and he insisted on sleeping on her couch because he was too drunk to drive. The victim says he ended up climbing into her bed and assaulting her. The North Dakota National Guard says they're actively monitoring the case. Wisconsin's governor says the president is encouraging a super spreader event with a scheduled rally tomorrow in Janesville. The U.S. reported more than 63,000 new COVID cases yesterday, the largest number since mid-August. And as Mulalenki reports, Wisconsin is one of the hardest hit states.
A fall surge of coronavirus cases has arrived, and it's taking a toll on hospitals across the country. In Wisconsin, where about 1 in every 5 coronavirus tests is coming back positive, state health officials are warning residents to avoid all gatherings, large and small, which continue to play a role in spreading the virus.
Retirement parties, birthday parties, baby showers, weddings, all of those things. It's why we have been encouraging here in recent weeks that people stay home as much as possible.
Wisconsin was one of 8 states to break its single-day record for new coronavirus cases on Thursday. So was Ohio. Hospitalizations there are up nearly 50% in the last 2 weeks, and infections are rising fast in rural and suburban counties, according to Ohio State Dr. Matt Exline.
The pop-off valve for local regional hospitals is to send patients to the referral hospitals, such as Ohio State, such as Cleveland Clinic, such as University of Cincinnati. But if all of these hospitals and all of these cases are coming at once, they won't have that pop-off valve available.
Colleges and universities continue to grapple with outbreaks. The State University of New York at Oneonta announced its president had resigned to pursue other opportunities after more than 700 students tested positive for COVID-19. The school switched to all remote classes for the rest of the semester. Another recent spike at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, forced the campus to temporarily suspend in-person classes for some off-campus students. Now their goal is to test 50% of their student body every single week. Gary McNamara is Sacred Heart's Director of Public Safety.
We have found that students have been on campus and they don't know they have the virus. And if we don't provide the testing to know that, then we can't react to it. The quicker we react to it, the quicker we can stop the spread.
Officials say former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie spent 7 days in the ICU after contracting the coronavirus, possibly at the White House Rose Garden ceremony for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Christie said he has recovered, but that he was wrong for not wearing a mask at that event. He said everyone should take the virus very seriously. Cass County is reporting 223 new positive COVID cases today, still leading the state in new cases. The next county behind Cass is Ward County with 116 cases, and Grand Forks County following with 113. 18 new deaths are being reported throughout the state. We have a further breakdown of the newly released numbers scrolling now on the bottom of your screen and also on valleynewslive.com. The West Fargo School Board has unanimously voted to stay in the hybrid learning model for the next 2 weeks, despite Cass County's new COVID-19 risk level. In a special board meeting today, Superintendent Beth Sleddy proposed West Fargo Public Schools stay in that hybrid model. School officials will devise new plans for if and when students will start their phased re-entry. The West Fargo School Board voted Monday to gradually bring students back into the classroom. That will be discussed again at the school board's meeting on October 26th. Students and staff at Central Cass schools are staying in the classroom despite an uptick in COVID cases at the high school. The school released a statement earlier this week saying 3% of their high school tested positive for COVID, and nearly 40% of students are considered close contacts of confirmed cases. Superintendent Morgan Fornes sent out a letter this morning announcing that students will stay in the classroom. The district will stay in its green level, which has middle and high school students learning from home on Wednesdays. Well, breaking news just into our newsroom. Officials say Governor Doug Burgum, in conjunction with the North Dakota Department of Health, announced today that North Dakota has submitted its COVID-19 vaccination plan to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. For more on this story, just head over to our VNL News app. The Minneapolis City Council unanimously approved $2 million in coronavirus relief funding to create tiny homes for the city's homeless population. As the first snowflakes of the season started falling, the City Council gave the okay to build 100 houses for people who otherwise don't have one.
Our hope is that people move into indoor villages and then move out, because we've been able to help them find and secure permanent housing in the community, and then we can move more folks in.
Building tiny homes is a new concept for the city, an idea they got from a project in Seattle. They've recently put some unsheltered people into hotels, but organizers say this feels more sustainable because it gives people a sense of ownership and privacy. We'll stick with Valley News Live next. The early holiday deals keep coming, where you can get the most bang for your buck.
And we have a winter weather advisory along and north of the Highway 200 corridor, and we are expecting measurable snow. It's getting started in northeast Montana. We'll tell you when it arrives and have your hour-by-hour details on a first alert weather day on your Saturday coming up next.